In this video, I'm going to show how to create a PDF from a Word document and then email that Word document template to yourself. And this is going to be triggered by an update to Microsoft List. So we'll start with the Word document itself and getting that set up. So in this example, I've got what's called a lease purchase report. And the thing that we'll want to set up for the automation is what's called content controls. To do this, if you have text already in here, you can highlight the text, go to the developer tab, and then this plain text control is what we're gonna select. And you'll just select that. And then while this is highlighted, I'll select properties and then use this as the label, so that way whenever we use it in the automation, we know which one to map to which property control. If you don't have the developer tab, you may need to go to File, Options, and then Customize Ribbon and search for it here. You may need to use this drop down and go to All Tabs and then Developer and then click Add. So you'll do this for every piece of content you want to replace or add to your template. In addition, if you're just doing it normally and you input it this way, you'll see it's kind of gray. And so whenever that gets filled in, it will show up as gray. So you may need to either type in the text and highlight and insert the content controls like I did for the first one, or you can very much insert into the blank space and reformat the font from here. Again, you'll want to label each one of these so that way you'll know which one to map to whenever you create the automation. So once that's all populated and set up, we're good to go there. So before we dive into the automation itself, we'll want to make sure that the list is set up as we want it. And the main thing we're going to add to our list is two columns. One is a generate PDF column, and then the other is a date PDF generated column. And so this generate PDF column, you would just go ahead and select add column. I went ahead and used the yes no option. Then you'll go to next, and then I just named it generate PDF. And then for the date PDF generated, I went ahead and made that a date and time column. So once you get those set up, those are the only two columns that we'll need to execute the automation. Coming into the automation, I'm using Power Automate, and I went ahead and created a new flow. The trigger is a SharePoint when an item or file is modified. Go ahead and select your site address, the list that you want to use. This next step is what's called a condition. And so you'll go ahead and within Power Automate, you'll select this condition control. And whenever you do so, it'll split it and give you the yes, no path options. The thing that we'll want to kind of use as our filter is the generate PDF column. So whenever you click in a cell within Power Automate, it gives you options to use what's called dynamic content. Generate PDF is the one that we want to use, and we'll want to have that is equal to, and then just type in true. We aren't going to use anything for the no step. If the generate PDF is false, we don't want anything to happen and it will just end the automation. We'll focus on the yes path here. So the first step that we'll want to do is populate the content for our Microsoft Word template. If you have a lot of content controls, you're going to have a lot of options here, and you'll just select in here and path from your list content from the previous step from the trigger. You'll want to find the location, the document library, and the file itself that you're going to use as kind of your template. This next step here is to create a Word document. And so again, you'll find the site address, the folder path, And then you can use dynamic content from your previous steps to either name the file, or you can type it in. The key point is to add your extension here. And then for the body or the file content, you'll select this body step, which is basically content from the previous step. Then you'll go ahead and convert this Word document that we created to a PDF. Select the SharePoint site that you want to use, the document library, and then I just use the name from the previous step. And so you'll just select the name and the dynamic content. Then you'll go ahead and actually create that PDF. And so again, site address, folder path, and then go ahead and choose what you want to name your PDF. Add the .pdf extension here. And then for this file content, you're going to use the body from this step here. Then what we want to do is delete the Word document that we created. And so all we're doing is this SharePoint step and deleting a file or item. And then you'll find the site address, and then we're going to select the ID from the Create Word Document step up here. This step here is more of a housekeeping for the list itself. So we're going to get the ID of the list from the trigger. So the row that we used that kind of triggered the automation to run, we're going to grab that ID from the first step. And then we're going to turn this generate PDF back to no, and we're going to just add the date. And so this is the date that the list was modified, and that's what we're going to put in here. Now, the reason we do this no step here is if we want to regenerate the PDF at a later time, this allows us to do so. So we'll have a no value in there, and then we'll go ahead and go back to that list and check the box to say, yes, we want to generate the PDF. And then it'll go through this process again. It'll turn it back to no. And when it turns it back to no, it's actually going to trigger again, but it's okay because it's going to be false. And so it's not going to be equal to true here, and it's just going to terminate the automation. This step here is to get the file to then send in an email. And so this SharePoint step is to get the file content, path to the site address. This ID that I'm using is the ID from this create PDF step. And the last step here is to send the email. And so we'll look for the Outlook 365 send an email version 2 step, and then fill out who you want to send the email to. You can also use an email from a previous step. Let's say the person that modified the list item may get a copy, and then they may also send it to a supervisor or a manager as well. Then fill out the subject and the body text. Again, you can use dynamic content within those portions. And then to be able to add the attachment, go ahead and pick the name that you want to use. And so I just picked the name from the create PDF step up here. And then I also, for the content itself, you'll go ahead and just select the body from this step here. And that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and see it in action. And I want to go ahead and generate the PDF. I'll show you the folder one more time. So you can see that the folder is empty whenever we generate the PDF. We'll see it in action. So here's the Word document that gets generated. You'll see it get deleted, and then you'll see the PDF come in shortly after. There we go. So it's done. we can take a look at the PDF. We'll see some of this content was populated from our list. And then go ahead and hop over to verify that the email was sent. And so then you can see that this PDF has been generated. It's included the attachment, and it's also got some placeholder body text that I used. If I were to preview the file, we'll see that it also has the same content as the one that we generated. That's pretty much it. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, or other suggestions. Thanks.